Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Karina, and I looked over what you put together earlier today. So I'm guessing right now you're probably around 3.5 out of 5, 22 points out of 30, based on what you wrote. You have a pretty good sense of how to organize your ideas. Okay, so if you look at 3.5 and go into the rubrics, 3.5, if this were the midterm exam, I'd score you around 82. That's probably where you're looking right now. Okay, now the next thing is, what can we do to make this better? Right, so let's start with your first paragraph. I'm going to rearrange this. Sometimes we have to be a little bit more concise in our writing. So an excellent roommate has 3 vital qualities. So we have self-discipline, eagerness, and patience. Self-discipline is significant in the relationship of a roommate, because roommates share the public areas such as the yard, the kitchen, wells, the rent, and the house. So if you say because here, and let's go back to this, making sure all agreements are followed, maybe which could reduce the bothering to others. Now, the reason I put this in here is because you have it up here. So I think you want to make sure as you go through this paragraph that you're making the connection about how all of this relates back to self-discipline. For example, you say someone uses the oven without cleaning it. How about someone who uses the oven without cleaning it? How about we'll make it inconvenient for others who need to bake something. You could probably say this. Yeah, this is partly why I scored you a little bit below 24, is you're having some minor problems with language use. So for example, someone who uses the oven without cleaning it will make it inconvenient for others who need to bake a dish later on. The food left on the plates. How about this? We need to add to what you're saying. In addition, the food left on the plates after someone eats how about will become hard and this is good. I like how you're putting some detail in here. The food left on the plates after someone eats become hard to clean. You can probably say it like that. See, this is where you need to improve. Notice how I'm adding cause effect here. It is responsible I'm going to change responsible, have the discipline roommate should have the discipline to clean, and you can probably just say here the dishes. How about soon after they are used? Plus, an apartment or a house often offers one refrigerator. Moreover, it is a common view that everyone should not occupy the whole refrigerator because others also need the space to store foods. That means the behavior. We have not enough energy to underlie every day. This is good, but this is where you really run into trouble here, what you're trying to say here. Okay, so looking at what you wrote here, this is kind of like a translation issue. So I got to get rid of this paragraph. So I just said that means whether roommates are using the kitchen or the fridge, they should have the discipline to be considerate of others sharing that same living space. So notice how I use these two keywords here because that's kind of the focus of this area. And that would be the change I would make there. Let's take a look at your next paragraph. Secondly, roommate with eagerness. And let's make this more of an argument. How about a roommate should be eager? You can probably say that. So a roommate should be eager to create a comfortable environment for living. Last, with living together for to avoid misunderstandings happen. Now, I'm going to say you need to put that topic sentence a little more clearly. Say, lastly, how about a crucial This is a vocabulary word for this week, right? Let's use that. A crucial attribute patience. And then we can take what you said here. How about which will help solve problems instead of accusing. Then you could maybe say something like thereby making communication easier. So we have last week, crucial attribute in roommates is patience, which will help solve problems instead of accusing each other, thereby making communication easier. So what did I just do here? I think that topic, you want to put it in the prominent position of that paragraph, usually the first one or two lines. That's where you want to state the topic of the paragraph, and it makes it easier for your audience to understand what's going on. Okay, let's take a look at it again now. The one thing I'm doing, let's look at your thesis, and then your topic sentences. Then let's go through that body paragraph one more time. So an excellent roommate has 3 vital qualities: self-discipline, eagerness, and patience. First, self-discipline is significant in the relationship of a roommate. That's good. Good topic sentence. Secondly, a roommate should be eager to create a comfortable environment for living. Perfect. And then we have lastly, a crucial attribute, and we should have the singular like we're doing there, is patience, which will help solve problems instead of accusing each other, thereby making communication easier. So that's good. So we can see that all 3 topic sentences have arguments. And I slightly changed this last topic sentence in this paragraph to make it easier to see. Okay, now let's look at your body paragraph. Self-discipline is significant in the relationship of a roommate because roommates share the public area, such as yard and kitchen, as well as the rent of house. Everyone needs to be disciplined, making sure all agreements are followed, which could reduce the bothering to others. For example, someone who uses the oven without cleaning it will make it inconvenient for others who need to bake a dish later on. In addition, the food left on the plates after someone eats will become hard to clean since the food particles are so firmly stuck. Therefore, roommates should have the discipline to clean the dishes soon. We'll put soon after they are used. Plus, an apartment or house often offers one refrigerator. Moreover, it's a common view that everyone should not occupy the whole refrigerator because others also need the space to store food. That means whether roommates are using the kitchen or the fridge, they should have the discipline to be considerate of others sharing that same living space. So the one thing that I did is this word here, I used it a few times in your response to keep this paragraph focused around this topic. Now, you could have said self-control if you want. If you don't like repeating discipline 3 times, you can say self-control or discipline, and that will work. So you could probably organize your ideas just a little bit better. Now, what I want to do now is let's take a look at, I'm going to put this link into the email. So I created a lesson a few weeks ago called TOEFL Independent Writing Strategies. Here's what I want you to study in this lesson. This lesson is so big, I need a table of contents just to categorize the different parts of it. So I think here you can benefit a lot by number 7, using advanced grammar and simple grammar. 7.1, use long and short sentences. You tend to use mostly shorter. How about 7.2, avoid overusing any one of the 4 sentence types. Take a look at that lesson. 7.3, change the word order 1 to 2 times. And then 7.4, use different types of subjects. I think you need to do better with this type of grammar in your writing. I think 8, use cohesive techniques to create paragraph and essay unity. So your paragraph is unified, so don't worry about that. Cohesion, this is where you can do a little bit better. So here are some different tips. Transition words, before, after sentences, outside the text, tense agreement, point of view consistency, substitution, parallelism, repeating, rephrasing key words. You can probably improve a little bit in that area also. Now, what I want to do now is I want to go over to my website and let's take a look at the grammar part of my course here, and let's see if there are any specific areas that you need to work on. Now, if I were you, take notes. I think sentences with adjective clauses, you can do better with that. Maybe lesson number 7, number 8, number 9. Be careful of word choice. and word forms, lesson 12 and 13. You can probably improve in those areas. You can probably improve lesson 20, articles, and maybe lesson 25, comma splices, run-on sentences, and fragments. This is also a good lesson for you. Sentence variety. This lesson, lesson 26, and then if you want to do some practice, lesson 26.2, and then being more concise. You remember how I rewrote that first sentence and I saved and got rid of some unnecessary words? You can probably improve in that area too. All right, so I think that's it. Those are my comments to you. So thank you for completing this assignment. And remember that I'm going to give you full credit for doing this assignment. But if this were the midterm or the final exam, I would score you right around 80, 82%.